It is ordained by God to relieve our people from the hardship and poverty that has been inflicted by President Akuffo and Dr. Bawumia's reckless administration. That change will put Ghana back on a path of progress and prosperity, enabling us to build the Ghana we want and create well-paying jobs for the young people of this country through the 24-hour economy initiative and many other novel policies to be outlawed in the NDC manifesto soon. This change will also see the most far-reaching and detailed investigation of the many allegations of corruption and scandals leveled against public officials and their families and friends. This change will help to abort this administration's plan to foist the pliant vice president on us, to cover up for them, and thereby escape the searing scrutiny of accountability. But as I have stated, this hot spotlight of accountability is reserved not only for appointees of this administration, it will also be available to sanctioned persons in my own administration who engage in similar conduct. The same anti-corruption strategies and instruments I shall deploy to measure and punish the MPP government appointees will also be applicable to my own appointees. In short, in Ghanaian parlance, Aba Yadebo Techino, Yadebebo Banso. My dear youth, the best of Ghana is yet to come, and I have hope for the future, particularly as I return to the presidency as the experienced, visionary, and decisive leader ready to build the Ghana we want together with you. The Electoral Commission has decided to conduct a mop-up voter registration exercise between 1st August to 3rd August, realizing that many could not participate in the just completed limited registration exercise. I still do not understand why the Electoral Commission in cahoots with government insists it will not bring the voters' registration centers to the doorstep of the people as much as possible in order that all of you can have the opportunity to register. These are young people, many of whom are unemployed and are being taken care of by their suffering parents. They cannot afford the cost of transportation from their homes to the distant district registration offices, not to mention the long queues, the intentional intimidation that takes place by tags and network anomalies that have plagued the exercise ever so often. Even after successfully arriving at the registration center, many of you have had to cope with the disappointment of undue delays. My fellow Ghanaians, just place yourself in the shoes of these young people within the needless and avoidable ordeal that they have to face. Of persons, say, between 18 and 25 years without a passport or a Ghana card. If such a young lady or young man manages to secure 2 guarantors, pays for their transportation to accompany them to a registration center, and due to network failure and postponements, this young person is unable to register via the guarantor system, what is the likelihood that he or she will return another day to register with these same 2 guarantors? And that is what leads to what is called voter suppression. And this is why I continue to urge the EC to prevent voter suppression by extending the mop-up exercise beyond its district offices to include all the hard-to-reach areas. This will enable Ghanaians who have turned 18 or more but are unregistered to register from the 1st to the 3rd of August. However, let me assure you that no matter the challenges or artificial obstacles they erect in your path to prevent you from exercising your franchise, my victory in the polls shall be your victory. It shall be a victory for all the suffering Ghanaians. It will be a victory for all of us. And I'm sure that's going to happen on 7th December this year. There's a rising feeling of frustration and anger bubbling up amongst our young people. Justifiable anger and frustration against this failed administration. It is anger against the economic mismanagement, the hardships, the widening inequalities in our country, and the unprecedented corruption that has become the signature of this government. And yes, you have every right to be angry and disappointed in this government. It is understandable because this government has received more funds than any other government in the history of our country, including the windfall that they got from the COVID-19 pandemic, which they willfully mismanaged. The anger of the young people of Ghana is perfectly understandable because they face a real and present danger of unprecedented permanent unemployment if things do not change dramatically. The real possibility exists of some persons attaining the pension age of 60 without ever being employed if the MPP government continues to stay in power. Meanwhile, for those in employment and contributing to SNIT, there is no guarantee that the trust can continue paying your pension claims when you proceed on retirement. And let me add that the anger of the youth against the Bawumia-led economic management team that has heaped daily hardships on Ghanaians is also understandable, because of the combined effect of increasing our national debt from 120 billion at the end of 2016 to a staggering 658.6 billion cedis today. To put it simply, our national debt of 120 billion Ghana cedis in 2016 shared amongst our population meant that each of us owed 4,000 Ghana cedis. Today, our national public debt of 658 billion cedis shared amongst our population means that every Ghanaian owes 22,000 cedis. The youth are also right to be angry at how the domestic debt exchange, the haircuts, when we said there were going to be haircuts, the president said there will be no haircuts. The domestic debt exchange program has conspired to impoverish their parents